What we've got here is a Kyocera black silicon dioxide ceramic knife, and I've had it for a while, but it was just recently sharpened, so I think it's a good test against this brand new one that had never been used at all until this test. This is made by John Whittle, and I think it's pretty humorous that a guy named John Whittle makes knives. And it's a Damascus steel blade imported from Japan. As far as I could figure out, he doesn't actually make the blades. He just carves the wood and assembles it.
The next step is to line up the rails so the weld will make a seamless connection. Both rails have to be angled slightly.
So I did the initial cuts, which was through the skin. You could feel that this had a lot more resistance. It might be better without the skin, so let's see what we get now. Pretty smooth. Yeah, it doesn't have the resistance that it had through the skin. So the skin is a winner for the ceramic. Let's see how this compares. About the same. It feels different as you're going through it, but there's no real difference in the resistance of the shallot with the skin already removed. Now let's look at chopping. Interesting. So the chopping action with the much heavier knife is easier because the inertia of the knife is actually helping you cut. Not a big difference. This one just has no assistance and you're moving it all by hand. So in something soft like this, I bet they will be identical. Huh. Actually, this had more resistance. I don't know if it's just that there's more stiction or something with the on the wet produce. Yeah, so on the zucchini, there's definitely a lot less friction on the ceramic knife than there is on the metal knife. Now this one will be interesting. These are always a mild pain in the butt to chop. They're not dry enough to just fall apart, but they're not moist enough to easily go through. So there's resistance, and you gotta give it some pressure. Okay, so once again, the gravity of the knife, the weight of the knife itself makes it easier to cut this stuff. There's no significant difference in what I think is the feel of sharpness with a material like this. Maybe the ceramic seems like it might hint at being a little sharper, but the weight certainly makes up for that by helping you cut. Yeah, and again, the chopping action, the weight definitely helps with chopping action. Now, interestingly, something that this completely fails at is cutting plastic bags open. I just drag them across on the cutting board and they fall apart with this. This one takes effort and took a couple of tries to get the thicker part cut. And then my last test is these. They can be a pain in the ass to cut because tomatoes give and sometimes don't start a cut. One of the things where the ceramic has always beaten lesser metal knives is that it cuts the skin right away instead of pushing through. So that works fine, and this works fine. There might be a slight edge for this one because, again, the weight helps with getting into the tomato without pushing down yourself, where that one being essentially weightless, you have to give it a little bit of pressure. But effectively, mostly the same as far as sharpness and ability to cut these. So at the end of it all, it's give or take. Neither is better or worse than the other all around. Might be times when you want to use one or the other. I'm just going to stick with the ceramic because the longevity is much higher. Sharpening this is every 5 years, and this, all of the steel knives require a lot more care. It's just more convenient to deal with the ceramic. This is prettier, sure, but at the same time, then pretty certain that this is going to go to hell quickly if it gets put in a dishwasher, and nobody's got time for hand washing.